Hi, welcome to episode 1 of the Meaningful Connection podcast. I'm your host, David Fraser, the founder of Bunky Life, and we're basically in the business of helping families create extra space for more meaningful connection. And this podcast was born out of a noticing I had where I noticed that out there in the world, there is a tremendous amount of content, ideas, emphasis, government funding for people that are in crisis mode. I'm talking about families that are about to separate. I'm talking about alcoholics. I'm talking about drug addicts. I'm talking about real bad, dire situations. And I applaud that. That's great that we, as a society, we make sure that we're not letting people fall through the cracks that way. And that's great. What I found was, though, in my search for, hey, I've got a family I already love. I want to go deeper with them. I want to make it even better. I want to go from good to great, not just from catastrophic crisis to okay. So I looked quite extensively of how do I connect deeper with my family. I noticed out there in corporate world, there's a lot of team building and things for your corporation. But how do you make your family better? How do you get deeper connection with the people in your life that matter the most? And I found there was not a lot of information about that, and that basically inspired me to start this podcast. And really, it's the core of what I do. So prior to getting into Bunky Life, I used to travel and perform music professionally. And a lot of my songs were about connecting with people. It's ultimately, my belief is that meaningfully connecting with people in your life is the real key to feeling happy and satisfied and fulfilled. And so this is going to be a short episode, but that is the heart and the soul of the Meaningful Connection podcast, is how do we go from good to great with the people in our life that really matter? And so we'll be interviewing people that have gone through personal journeys themselves or have developed some expertise in the area of how do we go from good to great with our family. Now, the Meaningful Connection podcast is not going to be a monologue. It's not going to be me talking to you. It's going to be a conversation. So what I need from you as a listener is I need your stories of how this podcast has influenced and changed your perspectives, how it's helped you to go deep with your family. I'm always available at david@bunkylife.com. Make sure you use the subject line, Meaningful Connection, so we know we're talking about the podcast. And I will read every single email, and I will reply to every single email. That's my commitment to you. And let's see where we can go with this concept. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and we'll see you in episode 2. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you've learned a lot, but beyond just mere intellectual entertainment, I hope it's changed the way you see relationships and inspired you to take action to make a connection with someone in your life today. Do it. I'd love to hear about it, and you can always email me directly at david@bunkylife.com with the subject Meaningful Connection. Love to hear your stories.